for you. And I'm going to go help these other folks. These other guys.
Okay, so it's going to ask me
you're ready to go
or
now. Nope, you're just ready to go. So start
Oh,
your
okay.
research.
Start my research.
Yeah,
Okay.
start your research.
All right.
Cool. I'm going to shut this door and time 15
And you want me to go ahead and talk through what I'm doing, like you
Yes.
said, the whole entire time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just talk it through, and I'm
Okay.
going to shut the door for you.
Okay. Good morning. My name's Todd Mims. I'm here to talk about my my research habits and research resources that I use. Just to get a background on myself real quick. This is a summer semester, and I'm just starting my first course. First course is after about 8 years. So I guess I'm going to say I'm quite rusty in this. And even though I've been taught formally this in English 101, I've lost some of those skills, and things have changed due to technology a lot since I took a class in 2000. So I just want you all to be aware of that. So now I'm catching up to what's available now in 2016. So at this point, I'm taking an English 1102 course, and in that course, we're learning a lot of the basics again, formatting and research and databases and how to cite sources and all those things. So I'm trying to go based off of what the professor is teaching us, and not my study or research habits from before, which would have been mostly just go on, put something in Google, and the first few things that pop up, start writing about them. But I'm not really doing that anymore. So enough on that. What I'm taught to do now is I feel like now I'm mostly going to use libraries themselves, scholarly articles in journals that is peer reviewed basically, and I'll find those on the database. KSU has a database that has tens of thousands. I'm sure millions of articles, probably hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of articles. So that makes the research very, very difficult. So what I'm finding now is having to narrow down my research and using the right keywords is becoming the most difficult. Right now, I'm writing a paper on our research topics. We had about 7 topics. Now, the one that I chose was digital culture and identity. But to narrow my focus, I'm doing my research on what I posed the question: does social media influence or dictate? Does social media influence or dictate social behaviors in young adults? So what I'm really trying to find out is, does social media these days, as it's become popular in the last 5 to 7 years, are young people having the same habits they did maybe 20 years ago, 30, 40 years ago? Or does this particular digital culture does this digital culture create a certain type of behaviors in young persons, and is it due just to the use of social media? And so these are the things I wanted to kind of find out and raise the questions to. So first of all, I had been going to the database, like I said, KSU database. So I'll go there right now and log in. Actually, it's the KSU library, so I'd go there, log in. Okay, it's already logged in. So, like I said again, I think I'm having the hardest time right now. I really say it's overwhelming. It's the hardest part of my research. I wish that these items fell in my lap right now, but they really don't do that, because there's just, if you put in your keywords, you're finding 80, 90,000 articles may come out, even when you narrow it down to maybe just articles. You still may get 50,000. So then you got to start taking out finding more keywords. I'm learning techniques like using the minus sign behind the words you don't want to use in your search. I'm learning to use the quotation marks for it, so the search engine can find specific words. Those techniques are starting to help. I guess my issue right now I'm having again is my research is. At first, I actually called my paper, "Does social media create a antisocial society?" And when I started to look that up a lot, social media and antisocial, it was taking me in a different direction. It was taking me in a direction about actual antisocial, maybe children or young adults that is basically antisocial persons that are actually uh, introverts by nature, shy, or those that are just not into very much into social gatherings and anything outside of being by themselves. Your atypical antisocial. It's not really what I was looking for. I was really just looking for, does social media make us more in tune with ourselves and not want to share more time with others and be more social with others? So really what I was asking, I'm trying to find out was that now that everyone has their own, most persons have phones and tablets. Are they more engaged in their phone and tablet than they are with other people? And is it easier to engage through your phones and tablets than it is to just talk to someone maybe on the phone these days? So I think I still can get towards that research, but I kind of took it away from that because I just couldn't find the specific articles that may supported that. And with the right amount of time I may have, but since this class is a summer class and it's kind of short, I really don't have that much time to read that many articles or books to figure out if this is where I want to go. It sounded like a pretty interesting topic, but I just could not narrow that focus. That my instructor, professor, also said, well, in your research, you may raise a question, but in your research, you may not find what you're exactly wanting to look for. Maybe being that is, you may be placed in a position where your research is not taking you anywhere, but in that research, you may find something else that is taking you in a certain direction. So sometimes follow that where the research takes you, if there's more research out there on certain things. So I'm listening to him on that, and he also said, what I thought found key was when you do find resources, look at those sources, because that may take you even deeper into and find more information on something that, like I said, it's already been evaluated and sourced. So if you find something that's relevant to your research, look at their research. Look who they researched, and you'll probably find a lot more to help you out in that. Right now, time, I think it's not the research itself; it's just the time constraints of and the time constraints it puts on you to get in there, find these resources, articulate them in your own words without plagiarizing, which is also finding difficult. Whereas you have to try to put things, paraphrase things, try to summarize things that without actually, and make sure you're using the quotation